The sun dipped below the horizon, casting the hills of Kuki into a shadowy embrace. After a long day of washing cars in Imphal, Kim and Nem made their way back home, their hearts heavy with exhaustion, but filled with hope for their families. Each drop of sweat that rolled down their backs during the day felt like a step toward a better life. "Did you hear about the violence in the city?" Kim asked, glancing nervously at the darkening sky. The news had spread like wildfire, but they had brushed it off. Surely it wouldn't reach them in their quiet corner of the world. Despite the increased number of zombies, clearly the effort to generate a virus was working, but no, but I can feel something in the air, Nem replied, her brow furrowing. It feels different tonight. As they trudged down the narrow path lined with wildflowers, a sense of foreboding settled over them. The peaceful chirping of crickets was overshadowed by distant shouts that echoed through the valley. "Maybe we should hurry," Kim suggested, quickening her pace. "It's getting late, and you know how these city folk can be." Nem nodded, but her heart raced. "Yeah, let's go." The two women entered Imphal, but the city felt different than usual. The vibrant colours of the market stalls were replaced by a haze of fear. Windows were shattered and the air was thick with smoke. They exchanged worried glances, sensing that they had stepped into a brewing storm. "Where are the others?" Kim wondered aloud, her voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know," Nem replied, scanning the streets. "We should find a safe place to wait until it's over." As they turned a corner, they stumbled upon a group of Meitei women, their expressions dark and hostile. "Here are two beautiful Kuki girls," one of them sneered, pointing a finger at Kim and Nem. "Take them." Before Kim and Nem could react, the women lunged at them, their hands gripping tight. "Let us go," Kim cried, struggling against their grasp. "We mean no harm." But their pleas fell on deaf ears. The mob grew, a wave of angry faces, fueled by a rage that seemed to have no end. "We'll teach you a lesson," a voice boomed, sending shivers down their spines. "Please, we just want to go home," Nem pleaded, her eyes wide with terror. The night became a blur of pain and tears. The girls' cries merged with the sound of maniacal laughter and jeering voices. "No one will hear you, fools," someone shouted, their voice laced with sadistic glee. As the night deepened, the two women found themselves in a dark alley, the cold stone walls a stark contrast to the warmth of their village. The mob was relentless, their laughter mingling with the sounds of terror. "Let's have some fun with them," a voice called out, and the crowd erupted in cheers. They were held down, their bodies trembling with fear, the cries of the innocent swallowed by the night. "You think you're safe here?" a man sneered, leaning close to Kim. "You're nothing but prey now." Kim's heart raced as tears streamed down her cheeks. "Please stop. We haven't done anything to you." But her words only fueled their frenzy. The laughter grew louder, echoing like a twisted symphony of suffering. The night stretched on, filled with cries and moans, the sounds of despair blending into a cacophony of horror. Hours passed, but it felt like an eternity. The mob continued their torment, their cruelty unyielding. Kim and Nem clung to each other, whispering words of comfort, even as their world crumbled around them. "We will get through this," Kim murmured, though she knew deep down that hope was fading. Finally, as dawn began to break, the mob seemed to tire, their energy waning, but the horror was far from over. "Let's finish what we started," a voice called out, and the crowd stirred with renewed vigor. Today, to not be Goliath, who sunk like the sun." "No, please," Nem cried, her voice cracking. "We're just trying to survive." But the mob had made their decision. They dragged the two women into the light of the rising sun, where the world was waking up, oblivious to the nightmare unfolding just steps away. The streets were stained with the shadows of the night, and the reality of their fate hung heavy in the air. As they were led to the open square, a chilling silence fell over the crowd. The laughter ceased, replaced by a tense anticipation. "This is what happens to those who dare to cross us," someone shouted, raising a weapon. Down peeled the spectacle for one brief moment, as if restrained by some invisible force. In that moment, a wave of desperation washed over Kim. "Please, we don't want any trouble. We just want to go home," she begged, her voice raw with emotion. But the mob was a frenzy, a whirlwind of rage that had consumed all reason. They surged forward, trying to break free, but the mob was relentless. They were dragged back, the laughter rising again as their cries echoed through the square. "Stop! Please stop!" Kim's voice was hoarse now, desperation seeping into every word. But the mob was a frenzied storm, a whirlwind of rage that had consumed all reason. And then, with one final scream that shattered the dawn, the world went dark. The sun rose higher, casting its light over the scene, a haunting reminder of lives lost in a moment of unimaginable violence. The streets, once vibrant, now lay in silence, the laughter of the mob fading into the distance, leaving behind only the echoes of pain and sorrow. And of course, more importantly, ended. In the aftermath, a quiet settled over Imphal, but the story of Kim and Nem would linger, a stark reminder of the brutality that had unfolded, a tale woven into the fabric of their community's history. The hills of Kuki stood watch, a silent guardian of their dreams, now forever entwined with a tragedy that would not be forgotten.